Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. This is your host, David Pierre, the Bright Sun, and this is the Bright Sun Podcast. And today, I wanted to talk about morality and why morality is not only necessary, but inevitable. So first, we'll talk about why it's inevitable, right? When it comes to us humans, we're social. Like, imagine being born in the world alone, right? You just kind of be like, I mean, based off of how you'd be born anyways, not only would you not even be there, but then let's say if you were just like you couldn't even be into this world as a baby because then you just die because there needs to be other humans for you to be even born, right? And when it comes to the whole what comes first, the chicken and the egg thing, well, that's a whole other thing for another day. So stay tuned. But so you're not going to be alone in this world. There are going to be other humans, but on top of that, we're social, right? You don't like being alone. Nobody likes being alone. Of course, sometimes you want your own solitude to have your own company, but overall, you don't want to be alone. You don't want to talk, experience everything that we experience and look at and observe and talk about and blah, blah, blah. All these things, most of it, if not most of it, is because of other people. Somebody made that book you're talking about. Somebody made this house that I'm sitting in. You know what I mean? Like, it's all because of somebody else. So now because of that, society is inevitable. With people, there's going to be society because then what? You're all going to pair up together and then one guy's going to do this, one guy's going to do that. Y'all going to want to survive. If there's a female there and you're a guy, y'all might start liking each other, and then there's a family, and then, like, society is going to happen. And then once there's even other people / society, there are going to be rules. There are going to be these natural rules that play into the continuation of that, and that is morality. Why? Because, for example, killing, before we even go into why killing being bad or killing being good, first of all, killing another human wouldn't exist without there being another human. You know what I mean? Meaning that rule or that concept or that thing's only there because of somebody else that you're able to do that to. And now, when does it become bad? It becomes bad when there isn't a reasoning or justification for you to do that. Let's say for some odd reason, you randomly kill another human. Well, that's bad because not only are you not acting within a logic or reason that would justify you to do that properly, or more in a justified defensive way, but now you put other people's lives in danger. So now you become a bad thing to other people. You become a con, a negative, and now you yourself are also a con to yourself since you're not even within reason or logic or rationale to do that. And that's why it's bad. And see, when it's good or when it's okay is when you're the one who's ridding of that negative thing. Somebody is endangering, somebody is trying to attack you, they're trying to kill you, and then so you do it to them. Or, in your self-defense, that's what happens. And of course you wouldn't go out of your way to do that, but it's either you or it's them. And if someone's threatening your life, way less people are going to have a problem with that because at that point it becomes a trade-off. You know what I mean? And if that person, whatever their reason may be, especially if theirs isn't justified, then it's like, okay, you did that. That was maybe not such a commonly nice thing to do. It wasn't a kind thing to do, but like you kind of had to do it or else you wouldn't be here, So I think that's a good example about not only an example of morality, but just why it even exists. Now, why is it necessary? It's necessary because of how it continues things. When you are good or bad, The reason why those things even exist is because of how they affect the flow. And the flow is basically the continuation of life and of human life, of course, for us, and the continuation of life and human life. What is that supported by? The relationships, society, the structure, the structure, the mental health, all these things, right? The amount of people, all these things affect the continuation of life, to where, going back to that example, you murdering somebody becomes bad because then what? There's one less person that is able to support that continuation for everybody and themselves. There goes a member of society gone. There goes a potential doctor or whatnot that could have helped, innovator. And not only that, but then you become more of a target of like hazardness. You become something that is a hazard now. Oh, this person did that, meaning that they can do it to all of us, meaning that they will disrupt the flow if they continue to do that. Because one measure of something being negative or positive too is what would happen if this happens more. Or maybe if you put a number on it, right? Let's say if you were to murder 1,000 people, well then, wow. You know what I mean? That's a lot of suffering, a lot of job loss, a lot of money loss, a lot of potential. You know what I mean? Like this is like nobody like that. That's just such a negative thing in life in general. Maybe not to you, but because you can't see it yet, but that's also negative to you because then now people are after you. Now you have enemies. Now you have to hide and run, and it's like now it's negative. Of course, it's not what society. And there's a difference between what fundamentally runs a proper society or things that continue on with the flow, and also just majority rule things. Like, for example, if people are like, we should beat up whoever dares to speak out against anybody, then it's like, well, obviously that's dumb. You know what I mean? Just because, quote unquote, society, as in the majority of people with their voices that will make this thing more of a thing, just because they say it doesn't necessarily mean, that it's true or that it's moral, that it's a good thing. And that's one thing that I think we tend to, or that can be kind of lost, is that people think just because a good amount of people think it, that therefore like it's true or it's better. Of course, there's a reason why more people would think that way, but there still has to be left to a consensus of not only evidence, but just rationale, reasoning, and consideration and understanding, and all these things that you really get down to the gritty of things to where you can come to a solid agreement of, okay, yeah, don't do that. Yes, do this. And that's why I don't even get why, at least I wonder why those philosophers thought. I'm not sure. I forgot who off the top of my head, but I could have sworn there are some philosophers out there that have lived that kind of spoke about morality as something that, like, oh, why would you need that? Or, oh, morality doesn't exist or whatnot. It's like, it's like, oh, you're not going to go out and murder people or beat up people or, you know what I mean? Or insult everybody. It's just like, you're not going to go out and do that. Because why would you? Why would you? And yeah, that is why I believe morality is not only necessary, but inevitable. Morality exists because of humans, so therefore it will not leave. Because for as long as we exist, morality will be here because it's us. Morality has to do with us, not a freaking animal. A tiger doesn't care. You know what I mean? If you kill a tiger's not going to be like, hey, that wasn't morally, like a tiger is going to either just kill you or not. You know what I mean? They don't care. They don't even think at that level anyways. You know? If I kill a spider, I'm not going to be thinking about that. I don't give a damn about a freaking spider. That dude can die. I'll be the Hitler of all the spiders. And guess what? And I'll be fine. I mean, of course, like, maybe spiders do affect some sort of thing that could be good. You know, I'm not saying that, but it exists because we humans exist. So therefore, it's inevitable and it's necessary because that's how we even continue to live in society or in our world that we have built on top of this world. Without morality, it'd be the purge, and nobody wants to be in the purge. You know what I mean? Only immature, dumb people look at the purge and like, yeah, I want that to actually happen. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think. This was the podcast for today. You guys have a good night, good afternoon, and good morning. Check out any links and catch you later. The Bright Sun out.